Hey guys, Persephone here, and this video is going to be a how to change a type 1 diabetic insulin pump infusion set. Let's get right into it. Before we get into the tutorial, we have to go to the basics and break down a couple of terms first. First and foremost, what is type 1 diabetes? Well, type 1 diabetes, also known as insulin-dependent diabetes, is a chronic illness in which the pancreas, which produces insulin to break down sugar, does not work. So it is basically a dead organ in a type 1 diabetic's body. The people who are diagnosed with diabetes are born with it, as it is mainly genetic, but some people don't get diagnosed with type 1 diabetes until later in life. The people with this illness have to give themselves insulin manually, whereas someone with a working pancreas does not, so it happens automatically for them. So, what is insulin? Insulin is a peptide hormone produced by beta cells of the pancreatic islets. It regulates the metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and protein by promoting the absorption of glucose from the blood into liver, fat, and skeletal muscle cells. There are 3 different ways a type 1 diabetic can give themselves insulin, one being a syringe and vial, one being an insulin pen, and one being an insulin pump. And for this tutorial, we are going to be focusing on the insulin pump. So what is an insulin pump? An insulin pump is basically an artificial pancreas that is attached to a type 1 diabetic 24/7. It pumps insulin through them regularly, but when eating a meal, a diabetic will have to manually put in how many carbohydrates they ate to correct for exactly how much sugar they put into the body at that time. The insulin pump does not know how much sugar was put into the body without a diabetic telling it. Alright, let's get into it. So the reservoir actually holds the insulin in the pump. The infusion set, which is the blue thing, transfers the insulin from the pump to you, the insulin of course, and then the actual pump itself. Alright, so what I am doing here is I am drawing up the insulin into the reservoir so that it can go into the pump. To draw up the insulin, make sure that you actually put air into the vial of insulin so that it can create pressure to actually get the insulin into the reservoir. When drawing up insulin, you also want to make sure that you avoid bubbles, so when that does occur, just flick them up to the top and then push them back into the vial of insulin so you prevent those bubbles. Make sure to take your time with this step because we want to prevent air bubbles from getting into the insulin that you are giving the diabetic. Alright, so after you're done drawing up the insulin, you want to take the blue needle off of the top and the handle off of the bottom of the reservoir. So after you're done with the reservoir, you want to take the infusion set and you're going to want to prep it. And you're just going to want to unwind the tubing so then the insulin can get from the pump to the infusion set without any kinks in it. So where that little divot is normally where I put the tubing to get out of the way. After you are done prepping the infusion set, what you're going to do is you're going to take the reservoir and you're going to attach it to that infusion set and you're going to twist it to the right until you hear a click, and that's how you know that it is in all the way and there's not going to be any kinks. Then you're going to take the blue protectant off of the needle. So once all of that is prepped, you're going to go to your actual insulin pump and you're going to go all the way down to where it says settings, and then you're going to click that, and then once you get there it's going to say reservoir and tubing and you're going to want to click on that. So then you're going to press new reservoir and rewind, and that's going to make the reservoir fit into the pump. So then the pump will say that it has completed its rewind, and then you're going to put the reservoir into the pump where that circular thing is, and then you're going to twist it to the right until you hear it click again. At this point, you're not going to connect it to the body because the tubing has to be filled up with insulin before you do so. So then you're going to press next and then load, and then this is going to get the pump to recognize the reservoir that it's in the pump. You're going to hold that down until there's a check mark on the pump screen. So then you're going to press next and fill, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hold that down, and it's going to start sending insulin into the tubing that actually is going to go into your body. So you're going to want to flip the infusion set upside down, and this is going to get you to see clearly the 3 drops that are supposed to come out before you are ready for the next step, as well as push air bubbles out so you can prevent those. After you see the 3 drops, you're going to press next, and at this point you are ready to put the infusion set into the body. So then you're going to take the protectant off of the site and the bottom of the infusion set. At the bottom of the infusion set, you're just going to take it and you're going to pull. So you're going to hear a click, and then that means it's ready for you to put it into the body. Make sure to keep the tubing into that divot. So the place to put your fingers with the ridges are going to be where you're going to put your fingers when you are trying to figure out where you want to put it. And the ones that are circular are actually the ones to release the infusion set. So you're going to pick your area of choice to put your infusion set. You're going to pinch the skin, and then you're going to use the 2 little round buttons and press them, and then it should inject the infusion set. So then you're going to press fill one more time, and this is going to inject a little bit of insulin into your body so that that area can get used to it. And once you're done putting the infusion set in, just go around and make sure that it is put on properly and taped to the area. That is how you change an insulin pump infusion set. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye!